That's just like. Nothing.
Okay, so we're live. Okay, welcome everybody to our public hearing for the library budget for 2026. Thank you for coming. We are glad to have public comment or listeners. That's really great. So the process is going to be, if anybody, you don't have to sign in unless you would like to comment, and you can feel free to stand up and while we're talking and sign yourself in if you decide that you have a thought and you want to have public comment. We're gonna, when it's time for public comment after the Nicole is done giving her budget presentation, then we are going to go in the order of people that have signed in. Every person has 3 minutes to speak. Amanda is going to be our timekeeper. We are determined to do this on time. So at 30 seconds left, she's going to hold up the orange paper. And when time is up, she's going to hold up the red paper that says stop. So thank you for being committed to a effective and kind public comment session. And now we are going to turn it over to our trusty treasurer, Nicole.
Oh, yes, sorry. Yes.
Just a small, quick process piece. I'm Charlie Pensabene, the president of the Board of Trustees, and it is 6:01. So we'll call the meeting to order for discussion of the public hearing and public comment portion of discussion of the budget for next year. And I'll kick it over to Nicole.
Hi, everyone. My name is Nicole Crisanda, and I'm happy to welcome you all here to present the 2026 proposed library budget. I'm hoping that with the presentation here tonight, you'll see that we have put together a budget that keeps our library strong. It plans responsibly for the future and allows our library to continue to serve as a cornerstone of our community.
1 second.
Okay. So we have put together a budget, and I'm hoping that you'll see our priorities are, well, this is what our priorities are. I'm not hoping. So our priorities were, when putting this together, keeping services, that includes programs, collections, technology, and staffing. You'll see that we've prioritized responsible planning for our future. That means no debt or bonding, and saving for our future building needs and capital projects. And you'll also see that we prioritized keeping a responsible, modest tax rate. So we have the same levy change as 2025, which again, we aimed for a predictable, responsible, modest tax rate. And this modest increase is essential to maintain services. So we're not looking to add anything, but really maintaining what we have been offering. Includes everything that our community values: programs, access, staff, while planning carefully for future needs. Okay, so our budget includes making the most of every dollar, making every dollar count. We have community partners, both community, state, and local governments. We have the proposed contract with Skodak, which is still under negotiation. We have the Friends of the Library, which work so hard to help us through fundraising, including the night at the library this Saturday evening. And then state grants, a construction grant for capital projects, including the roof replacement for next year. So again, we're trying to maximize every dollar through collaboration and responsible spending. So you'll see here that a small investment has a large community impact. The tax levy increase is the same as last year. And so in 2025, it's an increase of 88 cents a month per $1,000 assessed value from last year to this year. So again, we focused on being stable and predictable. And the modest increase of less than $1 a month keeps our library running as it is now. Open hours, collections programs, technology, and staff. So this slide shows you where our income, where is this? Yes, where our income comes from. And you'll see we have the contract for service from Skodak, which is still under negotiation. We also have account transfers. So that includes the restricted gift and grants received in previous years. And then transfers from our fund balance to savings in preparation for future needs. And then new grants, interest, gifts, and continued county and state aid. So from this graph, you'll see that nearly 3/4 of our funding is local. The rest comes from partnerships, creative use of grants, and other income sources. Our expenditures, you'll see about 60, almost 70% comes from salaries and benefits. And so we're prioritizing our people. That's for our staff. We have expenses for our facilities, books and materials, programs and planning, transfer to reserves, and then operations, technology, professional services, things of that nature. Again, the budget prioritizes taking care of our people, investing in our staff, and facilities, the reserve fund, things that I've already mentioned. I mentioned the capital project plan. So these are some items that are going to be improved, but at no additional cost to taxpayers. So they're being covered under a grant. So we're being proactive about the maintenance of our building through capital projects. They're all funded through state grants and library savings at no additional costs. And this includes the roof replacement, the flooring replacement, furniture, signage and displays, parking lot repairs, and community way repairs. So again, all of those improvements are planned for 2026 without an additional cost to taxpayers. And then lastly, just want to thank you for supporting our library budget. A yes vote means access to information and technology, lifelong learning for all ages, a safe and welcoming community space for everyone, continued strength, access, and opportunity for everyone in our town. Our library is more than books. It's a connection, learning, and belonging. And as our motto says, you belong here. So just a reminder that all East Greenbush registered voters are eligible and invited to vote on Monday, November 17th from 9 a.m. to 8 p.m. Thank you for coming.
And I'll just, thank you. I'll just take a quick point of personal privilege. Thank you to Nicole, amazing presentation. Thank you to the remainder of the board for the hard work on pulling together the budget, to Jill and all the staff for the hard work on assembling all the spreadsheets and all the material, the awesome presentation. And, you know, ongoing thanks to the staff and the board for all their commitment throughout the course of the year that carries through from this budget funding. And a thank you to our partners, the Friends, Skodak, the community members in East Greenbush who continue to support the library day in, day out for programming, for materials usage. Just, you know, I think it's a labor of love, and you can really see the passion for the library shine through. So I just want to take that opportunity to say thank you to everyone engaged and all the stakeholders in the process. Yeah, and we'll kick it to public comment. All right, so we'll get the sheet and
So the sign up sheet is going around for public comment, and just anybody who came in and didn't hear my spiel in the beginning, welcome, thanks for coming. If you would like to comment on the library budget, this is the time for that now. You just need to sign in and we'll call you in order of the sign in. There is another meeting that starts at 6:30. And there will be public comment beginning at 6:30, and that is the other comment. I think a lot of people are here for.
That'll be a different sign.
That's a different sign-in sheet. So this sign-in sheet is just for public comment about the budget. Which we welcome comments.
Absolutely.
We'll put you on the list.
Can I ask now while people are still signing in?
Is it a procedural question?
A
or-
question about,
Okay, if you could just sign in. You signed in? Okay, we're gonna go in order. We have plenty of time, I think. Yeah, we have. First one is even. Maybe that's it. Steve Montana.
I actually was gonna make comments, in the next thing, but I'll have to stand up and just voice my support.
Okay, so do you want to recognize Stephen?
So there's Albert, yes.
No, Stephen's.
Oh, you are, I'm sorry.
Here for the other thing.
Okay.
Quickly say hello and greetings. I have more comments to make in the 6:30 meeting, but since this is open to the public for budget comments, I just want to voice my strong approval for the budget. I think you've all done a very good job here, maintaining a wonderful facility. I have many nieces and nephews, and they have kids now that fully enjoy the library, and I appreciate everybody's hard work in making this a success for the town. Thank you.
Evan McCain.
How are you? I'm not here to come and work with good job. I might ask you to think about something.
If it's about the other.
No, it's about, this is the budget. This is about funding of the library. Isn't that what this is about?
It's perfect.
And I was asked the other day to put, I live over here in Portland. Used to be in your positions and I take the term trustee seriously, that it involves a trust. I love this library. I think it's the most beautiful building in Rensselaer County, but I'm not an architect, but it is. But we have a night at the library coming up. And this library is, people coming here are asked for $40, which ostensibly is in support of this library, which has a relevance to what you're doing. And I'm wondering if that's not a bit too much. Do I have the right to ask somebody for $40 just because they have the right to say no? I mean, this library is going to be opened and I was given these things to put in mailboxes. And ethically, I couldn't do it because this library is publicly funded. But it says here, tickets $40 each. This is East Greenbush. This is not the Brooklyn Public Library where apartments, one-bedroom apartments cost $1,500,000. This is East Greenbush, and this is the budget. This is how we fund it. So all I'm at, let's not debate that. I'm asking you to think about your role in deciding how this building, which is your trustee, is it fair? Is this fair? Is this thing fair to our community when in fact they're supporting this budget? And Mary is here with me and she took over our children's festival years ago. And our goal was we would sell the children's books only for a fraction of a price, but the coffee and the donuts and the playthings for children, everything was free. We were saying, this is your community. We're not going to suck more money out of you for it. And I'm just asking you to think about your role in monitoring how funds are raised for this library. Because tonight, that's what you're doing. But please, I don't want to talk about it now. Just please think about that. Thank you.
Just to clarify the folks too, Kevin's mentioned it's the Friends fundraiser too, so just for focus.
But you control the Friends ultimately as trustees.
Okay, Michael, who's just next on the list?
I just have a question. I see what the levy increase is, the tax rate increase. How does it relate to the reassessment in the town? Was the levy just increased?
I can answer it.
That was taken into consideration because overall the town became much more valuable
Right.
with this reassessment. And the question is, I've seen in other cities where they just ignored that and went on the tax rate.
Okay, so what it is going to be more challenging for folks to figure out what their tax bill is this year because your property has been reassessed and it's going to be assessed at a different rate than it was previously. So to find out what your bill will be, hang on, let me make sure it's $1.04 per thousand, correct?
Specifically?
Yeah. It is $1.04 per $1,000 of assessed value. So the tax roll in its entirety has increased. What we did was we looked at our budget, and actually we looked at our budget, and one of the goals this year from the beginning was to have no tax increase at all. And we started there. We said this is not a year to add services. We want to maintain services. And so we started with that, and then it was tricky to be able to do that because of so many increased costs and the facilities pieces that we're saving for as well. So for some people, this may be a savings, and for other people, it may be more. So to calculate your own taxes, that's the best way to do it. Only you know what your taxes are what your new assessment is at.
Are you asking if we took that into consideration?
Yeah, what was the tax rate last year?
$1. This is $1.04.
And that's a significant increase for everybody.
That's the same increase that we had last year. Mhm.
In the tax rate,
And we also,
increased in value by 25%, and you're just saying the rate changed. That's a significant increase.
so
You say the levy changed.
we
That's different.
we don't have the new tax assessed values. We're going on the previous year's assessed values. So it's a chance that it will go down.
People, houses went from 350,000 to 600,000.
Mm-hmm.
And if that's up 250,000 more,
Right.
or 250,000 more, that's a significant, that's a $200 increase.
Right. So if a home is assessed at $250,000, it's $259.46 a year.
Right? It's,
Mhm.
and last year it was what?
It was $1. So it was
So
$258.
essentially what you're doing is the assessment value, you're increasing from the assessment value. That is huge increases. Just be aware of that. The house goes up $150,000.
Mm-hmm.
Let's just say $300,000 to $150,000. That's a 50% tax increase
Mm.
before you even do your 4 cents.
Next one.
Yeah, okay, so go back to.
Thank you.
Thanks, Michael.
Yes.
Like, I wanted to get.
Your question on the timing, if it's a back and forth question like that.
Hi, my name is Albert Yazis Jr., and my question is about the section of the budget that you had indicated as grant receipts. I know that the library receives grants from New York State, and it receives money from the fundraising activities of the Friends. My question is, what portion of the library's grant receipts comes from, private foundations that are not part of the state and not affiliated with the Friends?
Very small.
Okay, is there like is it indicated in the budget, or is it like too small to show?
Too small to show.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, yeah.
Thank you for letting me speak again. I just wanted to address this gentleman's concerns about 8-cent increase. By my calculation, looking at this budget, the total tax levy increase is $84,000. That's pretty small on a $2 million budget. Secondly, you're basing that 8-cent over $1 to $1.08, I think you said, on last year's assessment or previous year's assessments. What's going to happen is they've already reassessed the town. Out of that new number of the total value of the town, you're going to have to extract just 84,000 more dollars than you did last year. So in the way I'm thinking about it, it's essentially the same. I mean, this is just an $84,000 increase in the budget. So while some people may have had the luxury of a low assessment over the years, and I grant you that that can happen, as far as the overall total budget for the library and its tax levy, you're just assessing or receiving $84,000 more. So I don't think that that's outrageous.
Is there anyone else here to make public comment for the budget?
All right.
I have one more question. The library has endowments, yes?
Not an official endowment, no.
When I was here, we got a gift of $80,000 and some people have left the money, right?
So we have restricted funds, and it's what you're thinking. Yes, we still have those.
Are they at all applied to the budget or are they, shall we say, dedicated to special funds outside the budget?
Correct, dedicated to special things outside. Actually, we're not using them at all this year.
You're not, okay, thank you. That's good. That's a good answer.
Rules for public comment on the budget.
I just have a question. I didn't saw you reading, but.
Could you just explain more about, because I'm new to this, what the non-restricted grant in New York State is, the construction grant and the library portion, are they added together? So the roof replacement is like $570,000? Oh, Gary Clee. Anything else?
So the total roof project by itself is just shy of $600,000. It's, well, we haven't gone out to bid yet, but that's what it's anticipated as. 586,940. And we have preliminary notification that we've received a New York State construction grant, but we won't find out until November for sure. We won't have money in hand. So that portion of the project is $387,615. That is the grant funding. And then there is a library share. And the library share is $199,325. And so basically what we do with our, let me just find where this is because it's easier for me to look at actual numbers. Okay, so we have different funds and they're called either restricted funds or non-restricted funds. So we have a restricted capital account, which means that we have received a grant and we have, and so those funds can only be used on that particular project. That's our restricted capital fund. We also have a non-restricted capital fund, and that's what we use for the library portion of the grant. Once we will spend that out of our non-restricted capital fund. And that is also what we will spend for like our floor when we're making replacements to our floor and the road and parking lot and that kind of stuff. That comes out of, that's the money that we save every year. And so this is, Kevin, this is different than when you were on the board because we didn't separate them out like that, restricted and non-restricted. And the idea is that we are keeping a very clear, it's very easy for us to see how much is within our judgment as needed to apply where needed versus it's specifically, it's restricted to by the donor. And so we do that for our gifts and grants too. We have non-restricted gifts go into just our regular fund, and then we have restricted gifts. So those can only be used on what the donor has specified or the grantor.
Follow-up questions. Can't you hear me? For the roof replacement, those go out for public bids and the board chooses who, okay. And the other thing is, why doesn't the library portion of the non-restricted show on the budget? Is that the 199 you said?
So it is, what we do is every month, so it's in there in terms of money that we are putting into our reserves and money that we're taking out of our reserves. Okay, so it's money in, money out, and then every month on our budget versus actual, it shows the operating budget, and then underneath it shows the capital projects expenses every single month on there. So they're two different funds, essentially.
The accountants.
Gotta love government fund accounting.
Thank you.
Sure. Any other budget questions? You guys have had some great questions.
Yeah.
All right, if no other budget questions, I'll echo Jill's comments. Great questions. Really appreciate the engagement from folks. And again, all the hard work from everybody. And if there's nothing else, seeing none, I'll make the motion to adjourn the October 16th, 2025 public hearing on the proposed 2026 budget. Got a motion from Katie, second from Amanda. Any comments or questions from the board on the motion? Seeing none, all in favor? Got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And then, Mary.
Favor
Of adjourning this part.
All right, so that is 7-0 in favor of adjourning. Motion carries, so the hearing is adjourned. Thank you, everyone.